Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo-doo. Hey everyone, this is Digicast. I have no idea why I had SpongeBob stuck in my head.
I couldn't tell that was SpongeBob.
That's because you're old as shit.
You're too old, Scott.
What'd you say, Nate?
I said Scott is too old. I was
Yeah,
watching some SpongeBob today, actually. It was pretty good.
Oh,
I'm an old man.
All right, as you all are aware, with me today I have indie game developer Scott Lee working on his first game, may I add.
I mean, it's on hold right now, but yeah. I'm here.
That was so goddamn apathetic.
I'm sorry. I wish I was working on it right now. I really do, but I've been taken off of it for a while. So
That's all right, man.
But
We got live stuff. I also have infamous YouTuber Nathaniel Bandy here.
Infamous, please.
All right, I don't know what that was. And we also got Arthur, the gamer from Mars. Welcome, dude.
How's it going?
Hey, man, we're really happy to have you on the show. We're happy that you came to this shitty little YouTube channel, trying to make it big.
No problem.
He's gracing us with his presence, so we got some good stuff to talk about today. And obviously, I'm your delicious host, Jacob Albrand from Digicast, former game show talk host, turned movie reviewer, turned podcaster, other things. Anyway, we're going to talk about the YouTube problems of the past week, because all that just dropped off, and it's been pretty insane. And we're also going to talk about the Nintendo Direct, which actually I realized I have not prepared whatsoever, and I need to bring up some topics.
Don't worry about it. I have a recap
They released
of
that
the
Pikmin
Nintendo
game.
Direct.
Yeah, Pikmin, yeah.
2D
Yep.
Pikmin that everybody wants canceled.
yeah, I'm actually really disappointed by the new Pikmin game. I have some
we're getting
Everyone
a
wants it
Pikmin
canceled
4.
already?
Yeah, there's been a petition, of course.
Oh, God.
There's a petition for everything, though.
It doesn't
Oh,
surprise
my
me.
God.
Yeah.
It's not a strategy game. It's not Pikmin. That's why I don't like it.
It's a
Yeah,
it's a spin-off.
and I
mean,
totally understand why people are upset about it. It's the fact that everyone immediately turns to change.org and acts like that's going to do anything. That's what I always find hilarious.
Change.org.
Well, it's the trick is to do the White House petition thing, because if you get like 100,000 signatures, then the president has to respond to it.
which is pretty sad.
So people like
you
to ask about like
imagine?
aliens and stuff, and then the White House has to have an official response.
Let's
Oh.
get
A
Federation
certain amount of
Force
signs.
on the White House petition website.
These
want-
are the actual problems with this country. It has nothing
These-
to do with racial stigmas and gun violence. It is all about Federation Force.
And with that, we have already surrendered all ad revenue on this podcast under the new
Exactly.
YouTube policy.
Exactly. That's actually the more important thing we should talk about. So we are going to lead into that. Arthur, because you actually have a substantial audience and matter in the eyes of the YouTube lords, how is this
Not
affected
really.
you?
Well, the thing about this new system is I got one video claimed under it, but I already had that video claimed before, but I was able to file a counterclaim, and YouTube put ads back on it within like 12 hours. So
Well,
it
that's
actually,
great.
So what happened before was like 6 months ago, I had a video claimed, and they didn't even tell me. The ads just stopped appearing on the video, and I had to contact YouTube myself and figure out what was going on. And they're like, oh yeah, sometimes we take ads off videos if we feel they're inappropriate, and then they put ads back on it. But now they're actually telling people.
Right. So in essence, this, I mean, it's probably becoming more well known now, but in essence,
Yeah.
the system is actually kind of a good thing for us.
Yeah,
I personally
it's
haven't
an
gotten
improvement.
hit, but yeah, because now we're actually being told that, hey, your video is getting taken down. If you'd like to appeal, now you can do so. So
Sure.
I
And
think
people are
everyone just
flipping
kind of,
out,
I think everyone just freaked out because it was a new thing, and whenever there's a new change in YouTube policy, it's usually a bad thing, and people freak out about it.
Well, it sounded so bad.
Well, the thing is, people
I feel like
didn't
they could've made it
realize.
sound better.
Yeah, people did not realize that those videos, a lot of them, I think most of them really that people found out were there was no monetization on them. They were already not running ads for quite a while, but they just realized it because YouTube finally got around to telling them and giving a system for them to make a counter notification against it to try to get the ads back up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I guess that's
Yeah.
good. I really haven't run into an issue with this ever. I mean, I've had to deal with my fair share of content ID shit because I used to show off Nintendo footage quite a bit. And actually, last week, because I decided to show off the gracious, wonderful title that is Star Fox Zero, apparently, I got that shit claimed like instantly. And
Jacob,
that's
nobody wants to see Star Fox Zero. I mean,
Shut
come
up.
on.
I want to. It's such a shame because I try. I love Nintendo so much, and they continuously disappoint me on so many fronts. And then when I try to show off a game like Star Fox Zero, that gets an unhealthy amount of unwanted hatred. Nintendo is doing nothing to help me, so I'm
Yeah, it's
done.
crazy.
I'm done
I have
showing
other
Nintendo footage.
Yeah, I have other companies that like come to me and they want me to promote their game, and like people are
Exactly.
willing to promote Nintendo games for free, and then Nintendo is not happy with that, so they try to take the ads. It hurts
Exactly.
them in the long run.
Yeah, I'm to the point where I'm probably just gonna start showing off like just indie footage and just being done with it because, 95% of indie developers out there don't give a shit and they're just happy
90%
that
of-
someone's playing it.
Like EA and Ubisoft and like Rockstar, I don't think they claim videos. I think
No,
that's
they
really just a
actually
Nintendo
reward
and
people.
I think that's just a Konami and Nintendo thing.
And
It's like the
Nintendo,
Japanese
yep.
developers are the ones that don't understand.
Yeah.
By the way, we should mention really quick on the point of indie developers not caring and they just want people to play it, as well as Nintendo content being taken down. AM2R was only the beginning. I had posted it in our Skype chat that we use for this podcast.
Yeah,
but,
I saw
there
that,
were-
but I actually
yeah,
didn't get a chance to check it out.
500 Game Jolt games taken down off Game Jolt, which is it's a gaming marketplace, but a lot of the games on there are free because there's a lot of indie developers who go there just to get an audience. And there was a lot of games that used Nintendo content. There was 500 of them that were taken down just like that. So the few little fan games that were taken down in the previous weeks, nothing compared to this past week on that Game Jolt takedown.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Holy
Man.
shit. Yeah, I actually didn't
Nintendo
get a
was
chance to
brutal.
look into that, but I did read like the I guess the subtitle of it and was completely baffled. I got to the point where I was like, I'll wait till Scott informs me on this. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but yeah. That's sad.
Jeez.
Yeah, and Nathaniel, I haven't really. Did you really have any issues with the new system? I really haven't heard your thoughts on it too much.
Yeah, well, I did put up a video with Charlie 5 a few days ago.
Oh, that's right. I
about-
did check that out.
But that was before I was really aware of what was going on. I'm much more informed now. But I haven't had any issues with the system. I think if I still had a lot of my older content, like I used to, I was very much I cursed a lot a couple years ago on my videos, but I've either taken most of those down or I've privated them. So I haven't gotten hit at all by anything. I mean,
Well, that's
again,
good.
all I've really had problems with is a couple of content ID claims, but that's pretty much it. And it's weird because I feel like I'm one of the only Nintendo channels that doesn't really get hit with copyright claims. I don't know why I don't.
Well,
Because I
you
use
have a managed
Nintendo
status.
footage. Yes, yeah, that's right. But I don't know. It's still kind of weird
because
because
you're
it seems
Nintendo
like
Bandy. You're the Bandy
it's
man.
because
You
most.
got no
I mean,
problem.
it seems like most people that post Nintendo stuff always have problems with that. So
Generally, I feel like I didn't have as much of an issue as a lot of people, especially back when I did some gameplay stuff. But whenever I did the Quack, I edited enough of the footage to where I bypassed a lot of the bots. I have no problem admitting that on YouTube either, but like now, even with that Star Fox Zero footage, I mean, I edited like the bit rate of that file. I changed like some of the coloring on it, and I was absolutely stunned that it got claimed.
Was it from a
But-
trailer, or did you record the footage yourself?
It was pure Jacob Allbrand footage. I mean, my premiere gameplay, that's what I was showing them. I mean, they should have been glad to have me play it.
So was there any like cutscenes?
Oh yeah, there probably was. That was probably
That's probably
it.
what did it then.
that's
Yeah,
what it
probably
was
did it.
then.
Yeah, because I mean, those cutscenes are pure freaking gold from Shigeru Miyamoto. So
Oh, those are classic unoriginal cutscenes from Shigeru Miyamoto.
totally.
The thing about this new policy that's really problematic, though, is the restrictions that it puts on speech. Basically, the way that it is worded is these are policies that have been put in place so that YouTube can say, if we don't like it, we can take it down, essentially. Like the way that it's worded. In other words, if someone subjectively decides that anything is offensive or bothersome or not, quote unquote, ad friendly, we can take it down.
Well, they can take ads off it. It's different than just shutting down the video altogether.
That's right. That is true. And the thing that I want to point out is that it more or less has kind of always been this way, because YouTube it's a corporate website. Now, Google owns it now, which in my opinion gives it a little bit of an unfair advantage, because when you factor in intellectual property to the equation, that's what makes this, in my opinion, a little bit unfair. Because what's going to happen is another video website can come along that will be another YouTube, but the big difference is that when that site comes along, the other huge media companies, including Sony and Nintendo, everything involving gaming, they've already basically made a deal with YouTube, and there's no combating the kind of funding that Google has. So when you have Google backing and you want to make a competing website so that people can have free expression, you're going to have a hard time doing it, because there is an aspect to this that's a rigged game around intellectual property.
Sure. But the thing about the content ID is they set it up in the first place to prevent a lot more content from being completely shut down. So back in the day, if you had a clip from a TV show, they probably would have just shut down the video altogether. But now they have a system in place where they're like, hey, instead of completely shutting down all these videos, why don't you just run ads on them? So the videos stay up, but they get the money off them, and it kind of prevents more videos from being taken down than they were back in 2006 or 2007 in the early days of YouTube.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of arbitrary, though, because you do have people who are very, very big YouTubers who are now getting struck down in a huge way. And that means that in terms of ad revenue, if you're trying to run your own independent media company, you now have a huge factor of unreliability thrown into this. And you have to figure out some sort of a new model that you can rely on. And there was no communication about this coming down the pipe.
Absolutely. See, I agree that everything that... I should reword this. I'm not surprised by anything that YouTube does anymore. I've been here since 2009, and they repeatedly do the same thing. They announce a new feature, something that messes with YouTubers' income, and no one realizes it until it pops up one day, and then everybody flips out saying they're going to Dailymotion or Vimeo or Blip.tv back in the day, and they rage and rage and rage, and then at the end of the day they just stay on YouTube, and everybody kind of just deals with the new feature.
Right.
And so people are threatening that they're going to leave this time. Let's be real, nobody's going to actually leave YouTube over this.
Yeah, I believe part of the reason that's the case, though, is because of this intellectual property aspect. Because the huge, large corporations that have the... Now, granted, there's a lot of problems with Content ID, but they do have Content ID, and they have basically been working in partnership with these large companies, and they can pick and choose which videos are allowed to keep ad revenue, who's allowed to have a split, and all this stuff. And other websites that are supposedly competitors, they just don't have that legal advantage. And so I think that's probably part of the reason why people are dealing with it, is because there is not actually that many legitimate alternative choices at this point.
On the bright side, Facebook is really trying to compete with YouTube now, so maybe that will be an alternative at some point.
And that could potentially work because the Facebook audience is completely different from the YouTube audience. So
it's a bunch of 40-year-olds and up, though.
Exactly.
It's different content.
It's not really... Well, yeah, it's not. It is different content, but what I mean is that it's going to be competition, but it won't be like direct competition. It'll be like another place to go. So maybe people will eventually move to Facebook when it gets bigger, or maybe what's going to happen is another big media company is going to buy one of these other, upcoming YouTube sites, and they're going to invest billions of dollars into that. Now, I don't know what media company would do that.
Time Warner Tube.
Yeah, maybe something like Time Warner or maybe Disney even. I could see them putting up some sort of YouTube-esque website, and they might already own one of those. They're just not investing any money into it. Yeah. So I could see, maybe Disney could put up something to compete with YouTube eventually. I don't know when that would ever happen, but
I doubt you'll be able to curse or talk about politics on a Disney YouTube competing website.
Oh,
Disney Disney releases all the Quentin Tarantino movies.
Well,
They own,
Disney owns a lot of shit.
What's the movie studio? They own tons of stuff that's not family friendly.
Oh yeah, they own.
It's just
I mean,
separated. They don't put the
things on-
Disney name on it.
That's true. There's some truth to that. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that they own, Lucasfilm and Marvel, but they also own stuff like ESPN. So I mean, there are random things that they own that I didn't even know about until a few years ago.
They're one of the 5 or 6 conglomerates. I mean, they own thousands and thousands of things, and they're just going to continue to grow. And one of these big conglomerates are going to be the only thing that could honestly compete with YouTube. So until that happens, people aren't going to leave YouTube. Because, I mean, whenever you think of whenever you want to look up a video, you go to YouTube because you know it's going to be there. So that's another thing that's going to be really hard for other sites. It's going to have to fill up with videos quickly to catch up.
Yeah.
Even music. I mean, I listen to music on YouTube all the time because, I mean, I don't, subscribe to Spotify and things like that, but YouTube's free. So there's also that market that's growing, and YouTube actually has their own app, for that YouTube Music, and they have a dedicated slot on their website just solely for music. So, I mean, YouTube it's not getting taken down. I mean, Google will keep feeding into it and keep making it bigger, and they'll do whatever they want until someone like Warner Brothers or Disney or Universal comes in, buys something, and really hits them hard. Or even Facebook. I mean, like you guys were saying earlier, Facebook is seriously starting to compete with them. I mean, even if you don't count the people who actually steal videos off YouTube and put them on Facebook, they're still competing in a pretty decent way.
Yeah, I don't see myself leaving YouTube. I kind of just deal with the problems.
I don't
already
see
built
myself
up such a
leaving.
big following, so it's not really
For
feasible
sure.
for me to leave.
Yeah, for sure.
So I
Because you
kinda
have,
just roll with the
over
punches at that point.
500,000.
450,000 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's like nothing. It's nothing compared to Digicades, dude. Absolutely nothing.
It's all
Yeah.
perspective.
What was that, you, Scott?
Yeah, we've lost I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of subscribers recently.
Well, that's because
that's-
your channel changed so drastically, so quickly.
It's because it's my
yeah.
fault actually. It's because I'm on the channel now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just, it has nothing to do with me coming back. The best part is me coming back and putting, like movie related stuff on there now, and everyone's like, oh, I guess this channel's done, and then just subscribe or unsubscribe finally, and I'm really happy about that actually.
People say that to me all the time still. Like
of
when
course.
I stopped making video game content, I only had like 80,000 subscribers, and now I have like 450,000 subscribers, which 350,000 of them are there for the internet culture content, and I still got people complaining saying I should go back to the gaming content, even though that will completely tank my channel if I ever tried that.
Yeah, I mean, people will bitch to bitch. That's what
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion of, and that's just how it is, and that's fine. I get it. I mean, if these people, I don't know. I'm not gonna toot my own horn here or anything, but maybe I was one thing in their life that was stable or something. I don't know, and then me going away just really screwed with their psyche. I don't know. I mean, maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. That's my reasoning for justifying why they're flipping out and continuously asking me for it, like for gaming content.
People just don't like change.
And
Simple
yeah,
as that.
it comes down to that. People just don't like change, and that's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do, but whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, other than that, I haven't been affected too much by this whole debacle, so I really haven't had much personal experience with it. I didn't really get what was happening other than they do seems like they're really silencing YouTubers. I don't know if that's kind of the case or if they're really just trying to be more friendly to certain advertisers.
They're
because
just trying to be more friendly to advertisers. All that
Yeah.
stuff about them silencing people is a conspiracy
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah, because
point
how
of
funny
YouTube
is
that
it
there
that
is no
some-
censor?
Yeah, how
It's
funny
all
is it that
about-
some people are bashing like Microsoft or the Xbox, and then they have like a freaking Xbox ad on their video? Like that's hilarious to me. Every time that
Yeah.
happens, I always get a chuckle out of it. So maybe this will
It's-
stop that. I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
all
but-
about money, and and no one's being directly silenced. But what it comes down to is the people on YouTube who had things that or had a persona or videos that strongly violated these policies. The fact is they're just not big enough for YouTube to justify essentially like including them in what their ongoing strategy is. They're going to do
PewDiePie's
whatever's
number one, and he curses nonstop in his videos.
It's not so much the video itself, it's about the video title, what's
The
in your
title,
description, and
description,
the
and tags.
tags. And
That's
sometimes
true.
the thumbnail, but that doesn't apply as much. It's really all about the tags. And the video title. If those have taglines or words that advertisers don't like, they're just not going to monetize them. And basically, to fix the problem, you just have to change the words.
Yeah, I actually saw somebody on Twitter, I forget which user it was, he was flipping out because some of his videos were claimed under this new system, and then he tweeted out like the next day, oh, I figured it out, I put the N-word in the description of this video, and that's why the ads were taken off it.
Wow.
Yep.
From
That's
now
all
on,
that's
I'm
doing
not gonna,
it, really.
Yeah,
So
from now on,
if
I'm
you
not
just
going to
say
put the profanity in my title. I'm just going to put, like, shitty cunt bump in the thumbnail. And I'm like, oh,
Put it
well,
in the
got you,
thumbnail.
YouTube.
Yeah,
got
absolutely.
you there.
Put it in the thumbnail, keep death, rape, murder, any sort of swears, any sort of like controversial subjects, keep them all out of the description, title, and tags, and then just put it in the thumbnail if you have to. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And,
I know
pretty
rape,
much.
murder, ISIS, death, dead, dying, those ones are getting claimed the most. I'm not even sure if they're claiming videos over swears, other than the N-word. I think they just kind of reserve the right to take the ads if they feel that the swearing is excessive. Because they never actually say which words are swears in their book. They kind of just reserve the right.
Here's my question to you guys. I don't know. Well, actually, Nathaniel, you go ahead and say what you're going to say.
No, go ahead. Never mind.
Oh, I was just going to say, now, are they altering what ads appear on videos, or are they just completely taking off in your option to monetize them? That's what I want to know.
It's kind of completely taking off. No advertiser wants to go and... no advertiser, no matter what the intention of the video was, if the video is about rape, nobody wants to put their ads on the video.
Well, that I get. I just meant, like, if there's, like, a cuss word or something in the title, like, are they... So that they're completely taking it off. They're not just altering what ads appear.
For all I know, they're not taking ads off videos because of swearing. That is just something that they reserve the right to do. I have not actually seen any proof that they're doing that currently, other than the N-word.
Oh,
it seems like something that someone would just have to test and see if the video gets demonetized or not.
If you have anything that's at like porn, like naked nudes. Any sort of crimes, like that sort of stuff is what's picking up in the system and getting the video taken down. If you go and you fight the claim and you feel that it's not correct, YouTube will fix it. And because I had a video and it was about five YouTubers that almost died, so they had a near-death experience. So I had death in the title, which is what picked it up in the system, but it's not actually about people dying. It's just people coming close to a very bad situation happening. So I go and I report it to YouTube, and within 12 hours, literally, the ads were back up on the video.
Mm-hmm. And
that's another... It's blown out of proportion.
Yeah, and that's another thing about the system is that it can't tell context between videos. So, like, I think suicide is another one. If you put that in your tag, it doesn't work.
Sure.
The system can't tell if you're making a system about, committing suicide or suicide prevention. It's just going to take it down no matter what. Or Suicide Squad, exactly.
Some kind
Even
of
suicide prevention, they may not want to put ads on, though, to be honest.
Well, with Suicide Squad, though, you're just going to give your money to Warner Brothers.
Absolutely. So what you do is, if you make a video about Suicide Squad and it gets picked up in the system, if you report it to YouTube, I'm 99% sure that they'll put ads back on it.
By the way, Scott, Batman v Superman's the greatest movie of all time. So,
no, it is not. Do you want to talk about that on this podcast? Because I will talk about that on this podcast.
I don't care. We probably should move on, just to be honest, because it's like 25 minutes into it, and we're gonna talk about the Mario thing, the Nintendo thing too. Hey, sometime we will have our duel, our bout. It'll happen.
Okay. All right.
That period of acceptance was funny. I mean, well, unless you guys actually had something else to say about this, I don't really have too much.
Mm-hmm. But basically, long story short, it's not as bad as a lot of people made it out to be.
Yeah. And, long story short, just don't put the N-word in your description. You should be good.
All right. The only thing I'm going to miss is like the oodles and oodles of cougar and MILF porn that I was subscribed to on YouTube. gonna miss that. But yeah, I guess I have to just take my business to Pornhub now.
Yeah.
What a shame.
What a shame. Yeah, I always loved seeing it. And the big black squares that censored, the things. I won't say the words, but the things that it censored, I just always got my genitalia rumbling.
Just go to Prank Invasion.
That's great. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Prank Invasion's
Well,
probably screwed.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
it gets
the
me-
prank
gets me
channels
every time,
have to be
dude.
just completely done.
Anyway, let's actually let's talk about the Nintendo Direct, because this was a big thing that happened this week.
Sure,
I'm
I
very
have
curious
a-
to actually hear Nathaniel's thoughts, because I don't really recall seeing tweets from you and stuff on this. So
Well, I didn't have tweets because I was busy doing something. Oh yeah, I was at school. That's why I couldn't watch it live or anything.
oh, you're just educating yourself.
I was
Okay.
educating myself, but I do have a recap just in case anyone missed the direct. So there was some Sun and Moon announcements. Super Mario Maker is coming out on the 3DS now. There's going to be some. What's kind of cool about it is you'll actually be able to create levels with someone else at the same time, which is pretty cool. See Mario Party Star Rush. There were some new modes announced. Some new amiibo, of course, because it's a direct and they have to announce a new amiibo.
Oh, those amiibo. Oh, the Ocarina of Time amiibo.
You know, I predicted this a few months ago that, you know, this new Zelda game was going to have like 8 new amiibo for it, and already there's 4 amiibo for Breath of the Wild. And I'm thinking there's going to be more Breath of the Wild exclusive amiibo, because these ones are just kind of like celebrating the 30th anniversary.
Wait a
of
minute.
Zelda.
There's 4 Breath of the Wild amiibo. I thought there was only 3.
Well, I'm assuming that there's going to be like 3 or 4 for the Breath of the Wild. These are just for the 30th anniversary. These aren't even Breath of the Wild amiibo.
Right, yeah, because I'm pretty sure they announced 3 Breath of the Wild amiibo, and then in the direct they announced 4 Zelda-related amiibo, which two are
okay.
from Wind Waker, one's from Ocarina of Time, and then I forget what the 4th one is. But
30th anniversary Zelda one.
yeah,
Yeah, 8-bit Link. I'm getting that.
yeah. So that's 7 total Zelda amiibo that are coming between now and early 2017, I imagine.
That's a lot.
Can never get too much amiibo.
Can never have too much Zelda either, apparently. But hey, who needs Metroid? Am I right? Am
Who
I
needs
right, you guys?
F-Zero and
Who
Mother
needs-
and Kid Icarus and Balloon Fight
That's
and Wave Race and 1080?
wow. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
No one needs it. I just
I
need
like
those.
that bass.
Oh yeah, that song. Anyway, to finish the
God.
recap, we got Woolly World for 3DS. I don't know why they're porting that to the 3DS. And then of course Pikmin, and then that's pretty much it. Then there was just a bunch of indie games, and that was pretty much the Nintendo Direct. I was pretty happy with it. Thing is though, Wii U is like completely worthless now because they're porting 2 Wii U games. You know, Mario Maker, Woolly World. So like literally all that's left that's Wii U exclusive
now-
is Splatoon.
Now it's worthless?
Yeah. I think the system was worth it for a while, but I don't know.
See-
I don't like seeing all these ports.
Jacob
See,
is
now,
the one
I don't
who
disagree.
posted a video about how the Wii U is the only new console worth owning.
I
There
am
is a
the
quack
one
on
who
that.
did that. The way I look at it is, if you told me 4 years ago that the only games that I wouldn't get relatively the same experience or the same exact game on, like if I couldn't get those, or I mean if I could only get those on the Wii U and I couldn't get those on the 3DS also, I wouldn't have bought the system, because right now the only like 2 games that I can think of that you're not getting relatively the same experience is Star Fox Zero, which, I mean, even then you can argue that Star Fox 64 3D really isn't too much different aside from the controls. And oh god, what else was it? I can't think of it. I might have to go. No, because Mario Maker you're getting on the 3DS now, and you're also getting Woolly World. Super Mario 3D World is essentially the same as 3D Land, except for it's just a more expanded version of it. The same goes for Mario Kart 8 with Mario Kart 7. I mean, like, they're both fantastic games, and I don't want to take anything away from Mario Kart 8, but Mario Kart 8 essentially is the same as Mario Kart 7, aside from some of the anti-gravity stuff.
The
And then the
physics
same
were
with-
nearly identical.
The same with Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze goes for Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. The same goes for, shit, I need to go look at my games. Xenoblade
Nintendo
Chronicles
Land?
X. Yeah, Nintendo Land is like one of the only ones. I mean, Zombie U, like I can get that on other platforms now. I also have Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Splatoon is also a Wii U exclusive. It's an experience you're not really gonna find anywhere else.
What was
it?
Splatoon, I think that was the only other one I was thinking of. Like Splatoon and like Star Fox Zero. But even, like I said earlier, Star Fox Zero is essentially the same as 64 3D, just different controls. So, I mean, like the system is not bad. It has no identity because it has nothing of its own. It doesn't even have its own main Zelda game. It has 2 remakes. Like, it's depressing. It actually depresses me because even the 3DS got a Metroid game, like, and its own Zelda game.
Well, the 3DS was successful.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying is like it is so bloody disgustingly apparent that they don't give a shit about the Wii U, and it makes me sad. Like 4 years ago, if I knew what was happening, I wouldn't have bought a Wii U. There's nothing that they offer that aside from what's already on the 3DS that would have made me give a shit about it. Because on the 3DS, I get stuff like Fire Emblem, I get Kid Icarus Uprising. I mean, I get all these great remakes. I mean, like, I like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, but I would 10 times rather just own the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask ones. Like, it's just a worthless system, in my opinion.
As far as I'm concerned, the Wii U is good just to have the new Smash Brothers and Mario Kart game, just for party play with people when they come over.
Yeah,
that's like all I use my Wii U for now.
Yeah, and I
Smash
don't disagree with that, like, whatsoever. And that's another one I forgot earlier was Smash. Like, even Smash is on the 3DS too. So it's just like, Nintendo, you're not doing yourself any favors here. I mean, you're also putting Runbow on the 3DS. Your Shantae games are also on the 3DS. It's really depressing, to be honest.
I totally understand why they're taking the direction they are. And with the Nintendo Direct, I was actually bored to death for a couple of reasons. One, I'm not a new 3DS XL, blah, 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 how many words go in that title, customer. But two, I was bored to death with it because there's nothing new being offered. And most importantly, it was so obvious that the only real reason they were pushing any of this stuff and porting these games is just so that they're going to have something to sell during the holidays. That's all it was about.
Sure.
But they got Paper Mario Color Splash!
Yeah, I'm probably not going to buy a single one of those games that they posted on that Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, neither am I. I mean...
Wait,
I'm
they got
probably
Pokemon in there. Okay, I'm going to get the new Pokemon game. That's it.
Yeah. Honestly, that's all I'm going to get, too. There's nothing...
Yeah, no, I've actually held off on Mario Maker, so I'm getting that.
Yeah, honestly,
Mario
the experience
Maker...
looks better on 3DS. Because there's more features. It's probably going to have all the same content, all the same amiibo costumes, all that good stuff.
I think they said, though, for the 3DS version, you can't select courses. Like, you can't go on, like, the online community and select a course.
You can do it from courses on the Wii U. You can get courses off the Wii U version, but you can't upload your levels. Like, you can't do 3DS online, like, only. You can download courses from the Wii U online version, though.
You know, I think having Mario Maker on the 3DS is outstanding because now you can design courses and have them deleted by Nintendo without notice on the go, Jacob. It's great. I mean, I've always wanted to have my courses deleted on the go.
There is a solution to avoid getting your courses deleted, though. You just have to have someone like it a few times, and the course won't get deleted. Like, if no one ever plays it, that's when it gets deleted.
So if any of you out there are afraid that your course is going to get deleted, you know your Mario Maker boys you can contact. Ask.fm class Digicast. That's one way to contact me. By the way, my questions on there.
Yes. Please submit your questions to ask.fm/digicades.
Aside from... Oh, sorry, was anyone else talking about that? Because if not, I was going to talk about some other games.
Go ahead.
No, Pokemon's good. Everything else is bad.
The end.
Like, that's literally all I care about Nintendo anymore. It's Pokemon, Mario Kart, and Smash Brothers. Nothing else is really consistent.
I don't blame you. I mean, I really don't. I mean, there are some more that I care about. Like, I still care about the new Zelda. I mean, I'm always down for, you know, if Nintendo ever wants to bring Diddy Kong Racing out. I'm just saying, you know, I'll play that if you haven't already known.
Yeah, but the Zelda games are even hit or miss. I mean, like,
hey, shut your mouth. One? You shut your mouth.
Oh, Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword. That was garbage. I turned that off. Like, it was just all about the dungeons, and the motion controls were terrible.
Yeah, actually, I sold that the other day. Because here's my beef with the Wii is it is not I look at the system and I see so much potential just falling out of its disc hole, and I get so upset because I want to play some of the games again, but I absolutely cannot stand the motion controls in any of the games. Like I honestly can't play Super Mario Galaxy again, and the motion controls on that are so limited and minor that like I should be able to play it, and I shouldn't be spoiled, but I am. I hate motion controls. I can't play Skyward Sword because it's ruined by the motion controls.
You see, I don't have a problem with Galaxy. The Galaxy is one of my favorite games of all time because literally the only time you ever have to use the motion controls is when you jump into one of those stars and you have to like shake the remote or something.
Oh, exactly. You only use it when you're trying to get star bits,
but
and you only use it whenever you're shaking it. That's it. But
honestly, I feel like
I just hate it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
It seems like only Galaxy 1 and 2 are like the only Wii games that I'm okay with having motion controls because they did kind of make sense. Like the idea of actually just being able to... And Wii Sports too. Wii Sports is more of a tech demo than anything, but I mean like in terms of the actual games. I guess Mario Kart Wii kind of worked. The motion controls were... Apparently people still use motion controls for Mario Kart Wii when you're playing them. I never understood that. I like using a joystick more. But at least with Galaxy 1 and 2, it kind of makes sense to, if you spin, kind of makes sense that Mario would just do a little shake or whatever. So,
actually, when I've done multiplayer, when I've done multiplayer with Mario Kart 8 with people who like don't really play that often, I'll use motion controls as a way of handicapping myself to see if I can still get first place against the other people playing on the couch with normal controllers.
You dick.
Wow.
To put into perspective how badly the Wii U's doing, Mario Kart Wii sold 36.3 million copies, and then the Wii U version, Mario Kart 8, sold like 8 million copies.
No. Here's how it's bad: is Mario Kart Wii sold 3 times as much as the Wii U console itself. That's depressing.
Okay, I didn't even think of it that way, but that points it out too.
I'm really kind of surprised.
It's so depressing.
I'm surprised that Wii U has not done better in comparison to the Wii, because the Wii, I know everyone and their mother literally bought it, but I didn't. It's actually the only Nintendo console since the Nintendo Entertainment System that I or someone in my household did not purchase. So that was the one console that I skipped.
It's a dirty piece of shit.
I mean, seriously, I couldn't understand the appeal of it. I didn't know why it sold so well. I didn't get it.
It came out at the right time. It was purely
guess.
lucky timing with the technology because tablets weren't out yet. Touchscreen phones were still expensive. Exactly. And Wii Sports, they just marketed it perfectly, and it was all just really lucky timing.
We would like to play like those ads were playing nonstop.
Dude, those ads
the Wii
were
was sold out
genius.
for like 2.5 years after its launch. They couldn't make enough of them.
Yeah,
I was one of those people that had to
Wii
like
itself,
go to stores to try to find one every week.
The Wii itself is a genius idea, and I am not going to dock Nintendo for what they did and how they timed it and all their advertising and everything like that. It's the execution of all the games forcing you to have motion controls is what I can't stand, because everything in Mario Galaxy, honestly, you should be able to do with a button. To be perfectly honest, like you shouldn't have to shake the Wii remote to spin Mario. Like you shouldn't have to use that to control being on that stingray that one time. You shouldn't, the only thing I can understand using it for is the star bits, and I feel like you could have implemented that system in a different way. But like, I wish Nintendo would get it through their head that it should be optional, because it's 2016 and I have a Star Fox game that I'm pissed off half the time when I'm playing. Like, I don't get it.
That's Miyamoto's fault, though. Miyamoto was the one that kind of decided that stuff.
Exactly. Like, and I love Miyamoto, and the man is a freaking legend, but like lately I know we've made this on the show before, we made the comparison, but he is the George Lucas of video games, because he has something that could be great and he ruins it by forcing something that doesn't need to be in it inside of it, and it's really depressing.
And there's too many people around him that won't challenge him creatively.
Sure. The last Miyamoto game that was really good was Mario Galaxy, I think. I can't think of any others.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That and I will say this, but that's the Galaxy games are the last time. Galaxy 1 is the last time Nintendo was creative with the Mario franchise.
You look
Everything
at something
then has been bland and stale.
You look at something like Wii Music, and you're like, how did he even think this was a good idea? You literally shake the Wii remote and you play public domain songs like Mary Had a Little Lamb, and then they charge $50 for it. Like, how did they think that was a good idea in any way?
I didn't even know Miyamoto was the director of that.
Miyamoto was the one behind that. He was like, yeah, I have this idea. You're gonna shake the Wii remote and you're gonna pick an instrument and you're gonna play public domain songs. And then everybody's like too afraid to say no to him. So
Guys, you're gonna shit your pants to this, man.
They should have made that like a $20 title and nobody would have complained.
I would have complained.
But Wii Fit was great.
For 20
Hey,
bucks, whatever.
to be fair, public domain is exactly what like Disney started with to become what they became. So it's not
We
so
use
much
public domain for the Digicast theme. I'm just saying.
In my opinion, the biggest problem with that concept is just that it was executed so terribly. And
The Wii remote technology
every time
wasn't
someone
there.
mentions that game, I just think of that performance they did.
Oh,
at
that
E3,
drummer.
or whatever,
Yeah.
where it was just so awful.
So true.
Mario
Oh my
Maker
God.
sold about as many units as Wii Music.
That is depressing.
I'm
That's
just looking
really
at the charts
sad.
right now, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's really sad.
guys
Over
are
3
so-
million people bought that game.
To be fair, though, Mario Maker, I think Mario Maker was actually good. I liked it, and I think it was one of the only what they needed to do was launch the Wii U with something like Mario Maker.
Yeah.
So that
Honestly,
you
like,
actually
the Wii
have
U
a
had-
legitimate use for the gamepad.
I didn't think
Yeah,
they even
I-
realized that game was going to be so big. If it wasn't for the fact that they like content ID claim stuff on YouTube, it would have been even bigger because people would have that be like the next Minecraft where everybody creates their own stages and makes videos about it. But most of the big Let's Play
Exactly.
channels ignored the game because they knew all their content would be claimed by the
Get
system.
claimed.
That's
Yep.
right.
I mean, if PewDiePie was playing Mario Maker constantly, that game would probably be 10 times as big,
Yep.
just from that one guy.
Yeah, they had genuine originality with the Mario franchise, and they shat all over it because of their policies with YouTube, and that is infuriating to watch.
Yeah.
Because
they just don't
like,
understand that YouTube is a part of their market. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
what they do. We help
I mean,
promote it.
Mario is the Coca-Cola of Nintendo, and what they really ought to want is for that brand to be everywhere, because it is the calling card, and it's their signature, and they should want everyone to see it. That's also, by the way, the reason they did Mario on Ice.
Oh my. Ow.
Did anybody even see Mario on Ice except for like really little children?
never seen
Indie
it.
developer Scott Lee did. That's for
Yeah,
damn sure.
anyone
Really?
can go look it up and watch it on YouTube. It was the most miserable, terrible thing ever created.
I could just
it was-
imagine it. It was probably a mix of like little kids with their parents, and then just like these like middle-aged like weeaboos that were
Yeah,
showing
but
up,
the-
and like
the
the parents
thing
were all
is-
Oh,
confused.
dude, there was
If you
some
look at- if you-
trashed parents in that audience. You know there had to be.
If you look at the little kids, any kid that has like cognitive development past the age of like 7 looks like they're not even having a good time. Like it looked like just, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. And when I watch it, I don't even know how to feel. Like I feel very unpleasant feelings inside.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do now? Did you guys by any chance see those tweets saying that I'm gonna be doing kind of like longer reviews of just these random movies and things that I find on the internet? Like do more
Yeah.
comedic skits on them. That's kind of what I've been wanting to do for a while. Did you guys see that?
You should like
I saw
do
it.
some movies like Beverly Hills Chihuahuas.
Probably
Oh,
will.
God.
But I'll tell you what my first episode's gonna be on. Can you guess it?
Mario movie.
Mario on Ice.
Mario on Ice.
Oh, jeez.
That's gonna happen.
The
Oh my
latest
god, yeah.
sensation.
Oh my god. But I'm gonna save all of my modern Mario discuss for an actual like full
yeah,
episode and piss off a lot of people with it. So I'm not gonna dive too into it right now. Other than that, I mean, other than Mario Maker coming to the 3DS, the only thing that I got really even remotely excited about with this was Mario Sports Superstars. But to be honest, all like they look fun, like the sports look fun, but none of them really look that deep, and that's what bothers me because I am probably one of the largest fans I know of Mario Superstar Baseball, and
It looks like Wii Sports with a Mario skin.
yeah, I really hope that's not it. I really want them to have depth to this. I'm happy they're having local and online multiplayer, but I just don't want this to be like, yeah, go through and pick, okay, I'm going to have Daisy and Waluigi and Yoshi on my team, and then they all have like no certain attributes about them, and they just have these really plain, boring, like texts and letters, and we have the Koopa kids along for the freaking ride because they have to be in absolutely everything nowadays. And yeah,
as long as it's not as
it.
bland as Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, it can't be that bad. So, I mean,
that's the
game,
threshold they have to beat.
Yeah. I mean, this game kind of reminds me of Mario Sports Mix on the Wii. That's what I'm kind of picturing. Might be something like that because it's another compilation sports title.
That was like one of the last games to be on the Wii, isn't it?
Yeah, it was one of the last ones.
No one even knows about that game.
I can never find it for cheap. It's always like $40.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, I've been. What games are on it again? I don't remember.
Dude,
it was
it's $75 on Amazon for Amazon.
God.
Oh wait, never mind.
Jeez.
You could get a used copy for like $17.
What? Whoa.
There you go. Go buy it right now, Jacob. After the podcast.
I need that because I love like the Square Enix. Like, you remember how Square Enix made Mario Hoops 3-on-3? They also made Sports
like
Mix,
the most
and I need
underrated. Yeah, that's like the most underrated sports game ever.
With the Final Fantasy characters unlockable in it.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the only gimmicky bullshit Nintendo games I love playing. Like, you play the whole thing with the
multiplayer
touchscreen,
mode
but
on that
it's
game.
so fun.
The multiplayer mode on that game is so fun that doesn't have anything to do with basketball. You're just kind of going around, like hitting people with like different items.
Yeah.
That is so fun, and no one ever talks about it. They
It's
should
exactly
make a game
like
just
Mario
about
Strikers.
Yeah.
Mario Strikers is not about soccer. It's about how much you can piss off the other person by hitting them constantly. Oh, it's glorious. Other than that, though, I mean, I don't really care that much about new Animal Crossing stuff. The Pikmin game, I watched it and I immediately felt Scott's pain.
Yeah, but the reason that we probably feel pain for different reasons though. But I was kind of like I felt like a wince or like a scream coming on that was about to like burst out of my body whenever they said that the focus is on action, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not really why people like Pikmin. At least that's not what I like Pikmin.
This kind of reminds me of the Chibi Robo 3DS game that came out, where they completely changed the. Chibi Robo was more about like exploring. I don't know exactly what that's about. Like the
Chibi Robo
the
is
GameCube
fantastic.
game.
Or the Paper Mario
I've heard a lot of really good things about it. But then the 3DS game came out, and it's
like
nothing like the original. Yeah, it sounds like something I would like, but this kind of reminds me of that situation where they're changing the genre too much.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, it's all right.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm a very big fan of seeing real world settings like being included in games, like very relatable settings. Like that's why I like Earthbound so much. That's why I like that Toy Story 2 game on the PS1 and the N64. That's why I love.
Yeah, that game's actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean that's why I like Chibi Robo too. Like I love seeing just houses.
Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3.
Oh my. Yeah, no, man, you'd be really into that. You should definitely get a hold of that game if you can. Chibi Robo is fantastic.
Let's try it out.
Can I bring up like the most ridiculous thing I think Nintendo's done recently?
Oh, certainly.
Okay, so like they've been in talks for years about considering making a Pokemon live action movie, and they finally went ahead and agreed to it when Pokemon Go took off, because literally they just gave the Pokemon license to some other company, and then they slapped together this like crappy GPS based game that isn't even really fun and really repetitive, yet it like 10 million people download it. So they finally agree, and then they are saying that they're going to make this Pokemon movie. So I'm thinking it's going to be this epic film where this young boy grows to power, he goes to different towns battling Team Rocket and stuff, and it's going to be like $1 billion franchise. And it's like, nope, it's going to be a Detective Pikachu movie.
Well, at least it's not a Tetris trilogy.
Well, that's another thing. It's gonna be like Battleship, probably. Like, who's going to watch a Detective Pikachu movie other than like hardcore Nintendo fans and maybe a few children?
Yeah.
Like, I'll go see it, but it's not going to make $1 billion. If they made a serious Pokemon film that's really epic in nature, like a superhero type of movie, except with the person traveling around and becoming the best trainer in the land and fighting the bad guys, that has a chance of making $1 billion. But instead, they go and then they make this like what's going to be a little kids film. That's what's.
I mean, and all they have to do really is follow the storyline of Kanto, make that into a movie. I mean, they don't even have to really focus too much on what the plot would be, aside from obviously have better dialogue and whatnot. But like the overall story of what gyms he goes to, fighting Team Rocket, the the Elite Four at the end. I mean, it doesn't sound like something that would be too complicated to put together.
Yeah, and if they thought that that was like too much of a story since there was all these gyms you have to go to, they could have taken like Pokemon Coliseum or XD Gale of Darkness.
Yeah,
Nintendo,
I mean, that would have fit into a movie format perfectly.
They don't even have
Nintendo
to
has
include
a
all the
history of
gyms.
being so close to touching like billion-dollar greatness and falling flat on their goddamn face.
Yeah.
Well, they do make the money too. Like they actually tried with the Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo DS. Like that, I think that was the golden age of Nintendo, really, where they were able to make it a mainstream platform for people to play the Nintendo DS and the Wii. But then right after those came out, the mobile devices and tablets really took over that territory. And instead of Nintendo trying to go back and saying, okay, we're going to market to gamers again, they try to stick to their guns with this new format of making casual games. And it's just not going to work anymore because those people have moved on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I think the
Yeah,
problem
I'd
is
even-
when they were developing the Wii U, that's when tablets first took off. So they thought, okay, we're going to make a tablet-based system. And by the time that system was fully developed and it came out, it was too late. Like, too many people already owned tablets, and that's one of the reasons why the Wii U just didn't do that well. It was partially bad timing on their end, but I mean, obviously there's a lot of reasons why it didn't do well.
It made it more expensive, and the tablet, my battery on it lasts for like an hour. I have to keep it plugged in nonstop.
It's a 3-hour
Yeah.
battery life. It's pretty bad.
It doesn't even last 3 hours. It literally lasts an hour and a half for me, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
It doesn't
I
even
could
hold a
talk a lot
charge.
longer than what we're doing about the Wii U and its faults. What I was gonna say is I could honestly even debate that the NES and the Super Nintendo were mainstream back in the day, just because of how much smaller the gaming industry was and how many people that.
Sure. But it was children mainly. Those were children devices for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. And
The adults would have been playing on PCs around that time period.
Yeah,
in the 90s.
and the crazy thing was like how much more people shared it. I mean, yeah, like less people owned it because less people saw the need to have video games inside the house. But I mean, the amount of people that shared it, even then, I feel like that's what made it mainstream. Not even so much the sales numbers, just the fact that more people were talking about it than nowadays, which is
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
not allowed
depressing
to
because
do
of how
that.
much bigger the gaming industry is now.
You're not allowed to share any Nintendo games anymore. We're not even allowed to be doing this podcast.
No, we're not. Probably should stop. I'm gonna have Nathaniel lead us back in.
Oh,
he hasn't
snap.
gotten to speak too much.
Okay.
We all kind of keep talking over him, I think.
It's all right. Let's see. So I got a question from. All right, this is a stupid question. This will only take about probably a minute to answer. This is from Captain JZH. He asks, "How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon?"
Well, for me, my quote unquote sugar only takes one round to get me to the moon, if you know what I'm saying.
Boom.
Mic drop.
Damn.
I don't know how else to answer that.
Yeah, I have no idea how to answer that.
There actually is no other way to answer that other than how Jacob just answered it. So we can move on to the next.
Moving on. Green Bronze. Oh my God! What just came out of my mouth? Green Bronze Luigi asked, "What period of your YouTube career were you the happiest?"
Right now is the only acceptable answer.
Yeah. No.
No?
I mean, for me personally, like I'd say the happiest I was about a few months ago when I left Digicast.
Boom.
No, I don't really have an answer for that, honestly. I feel like I've been consistently pleased and happy overall because I try not to put too much emphasis on this. I do have another job. I do enjoy doing this though, so I'm kind of here. I enjoy it. What about you guys?
I'm never satisfied. Ever.
Yeah, I can get that too. Sometimes I get like that too, where I'm never satisfied with the amount of comments I get or the amount of views or subscribers I have. So
Yeah, if
Because it's whenever I hit a milestone, it's just you're always thinking about like, oh man, if I only reach the next milestone. So my perspective of hitting 10,000 subscribers is the same of me hitting 1 million subscribers now. It's all just where you're at in your career. You always want to get to the next level.
Yeah, totally.
think
I
of
get
it-
that.
I'm kind of in the same position as you, but I do think that when I get to the point where I don't have to worry about how much, or I don't have to worry so much about bills, and I'm getting a comfortable amount of views per month, I won't worry as much. But I guess the happiest I've ever been was probably like, I don't know, 2014 maybe, because that's when things really started to pick up and it was really exciting for me. So I guess that's what I'd say, 2014, that year.
I feel like if I had to give a totally honest answer for every YouTuber out there, I feel like it's whenever you hit that 100 subscriber mark and you're like, holy shit, oh my god, this is happening.
100 people, oh man.
Yeah, because I feel like that first 100 is probably one of the hardest to achieve, at least from what I've seen from other YouTubers, because you're so small and you have no one following you, so you're like, oh my god, things are picking up.
Yeah, well, with me, for the first 2 years on YouTube, I only got to like 500 subscribers, and it was just really painstaking. I didn't gain any traction, but then I made the Lavender Town theory video, which I talked about all the conspiracy theories revolving around Pokemon's Lavender Town, and I was like the first to do that, and it took off, and it got like hundreds of thousands of views, and it kind of went from me getting 1 to 500 very slowly to me steadily getting up to like 80,000 subscribers.
Yeah, Pokemon stuff that spreads like wildfire. Is crazy.
Well, not anymore. There's so many people in it now that it's kind of oversaturated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think a couple years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago, that shit was everywhere.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about. I personally had a friend who did that and grew pretty quickly.
And some of those Pokemon channels have actually been able to grow currently because then they jumped on the Pokemon Go bandwagon.
Yeah, definitely.
So I looked at the stats of some of them. They were only getting like 10 subscribers a day. Then they started making Pokemon Go content when it came out. And they were the first to make it because they were going to make the content even if the game wasn't successful. And then they started getting like 1,000 subscribers a day right after that. Like within a week.
God.
Yeah,
Their channel just started growing crazily.
Yeah, you could also do that by talking about the Nintendo NX about 3 months ago. I know some channels that exploded over that. So it's all about figuring out the right spot or the right niche and the trends.
the right trend.
to talk about.
Yeah. Then I figured out that like if you make top 10 lists about internet culture stuff, that could get me even more. And
That
that's
seems
kind
to
of
be-
when I blew up to 450,000.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that this year there's a lot of fact videos or top 10 videos or whatever about YouTubers. It's been a really
was the
big
first
thing
to do
this
it.
year. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I generally tend to kind of stay off the bandwagony like stuff. Just personally, like I just don't really have any interest in making it, and I don't want to force myself to. But I mean, if people do have the interest, and cool, like
it's
cool.
just,
I mean,
it's the
someone's gotta do
easiest
it.
way to grow faster. That's why a lot of people do that.
I actually
Well, I think not anymore since
What?
Since
just
what?
happened?
no, I saw like when I started there was nobody making top 10 lists about YouTubers, and now there's like 20 channels doing the same exact content that I started doing.
Oh
So, like,
yeah,
I
because
made-
people see that person and they jump on that because like I want to be like him. And then,
Well, they saw my 5 YouTubers that lost their fame video, and like that has like over 11 million views on it right now. And then after that took off, everybody's like, "Hey, that guy's making these top 10 lists about YouTubers, top 5 lists about YouTubers. Let me start making those." Then everybody else started making them, and now they're down to very specific videos like top 10 funniest YouTuber 1 million subscriber specials. That's what they're down to right now because they used up all the good ideas.
Jeez.
So now I'm kind of thinking about phasing out the top 10 and top 5 lists altogether.
like top 10 PewDiePie videos where he says, "Damn."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
10 things you need to know about PewDiePie, or 10 funniest PewDiePie moments, 10 saddest PewDiePie moments. It just goes, they go to more specific things as all the ideas get used up until the
Yeah.
point that there's nothing left.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to grow over like a brand. right
I've
now,
already
and I
I've
am-
already done
I
that with
am-
Mario Kart. I have like 20 Mario Kart top 10s, and there's still like 3 that I'm probably gonna make. But then after that, like I can't do anymore because I've covered pretty much everything I can in that genre.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so excited to start doing like skits, man. I love doing skits. I can't wait. I think you guys personally are gonna like enjoy it. I think I'm actually going to get a lot more growth over it too. I'm so excited about it.
It's funny that like nobody's really been able to copy the success of Filthy Frank.
I don't
It's
even
just
follow.
such-
I don't even know
Well,
what he
it's-
makes.
You don't know what Filthy Frank makes?
I have no idea.
I'm scared to
like,
ask
it's-
now.
Like the only people like are his two buddies, Max Mofo and iDubbbz, that are like making anything similar to it that I see.
What kind of stuff does he cover?
Like he made a video where him and his buddies they ate ingredients to a cake like flour and like milk and stuff and eggs, and then they threw it up into a pan. Then they baked the cake, and then they ate the cake that they
my
made.
God.
And look up vomit cake.
Yeah, that's
like-
the kind of thing I will never ever do. So
Yeah.
I'm fine with them not having me as a competitor. That's fine.
That video has almost 8 million views.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the stuff people want to see, man.
He made a video about weeaboos. Let me check how many
See,
views that has now.
I don't have to do stuff like that because I already sold my soul to corporate America. So I'm good.
Weeaboos already has 13 million.
Of course.
Damn.
Of course. All right, let's move on to
What
I got
other
a
questions
question
you
here.
got?
I got one here from Graham Garrison. Do you think the Mario Party franchise will return to its classic original formula on the NX? Also,
Nope.
if you could put ideas in the next game, what ideas would you put in?
It's not gonna happen because the original developers, Hudson Soft, I believe they're completely gone. I mean, obviously they aren't making the Mario Party games anymore. That's why the formula changed completely because Hudson Soft stopped making them after Mario Party 8. That's why there's everyone's in like this one big cart and all moving at the same time. And Star Rush, I don't even know what the hell is going on in Star Rush, but no, I don't think they're ever gonna go back to the original formula.
8 was the last one I bought.
8, yeah. 8 was the last decent one. I mean, I think 1 through
No,
3 are golden, but
I liked all 1 through 7, but 8 it just had like a lot of crappy motion control games. Like one of them, it was just like shake up a can of soda.
Well,
and you just
yeah.
shook the Wii remote as fast as possible, and that was
yeah,
the
just
entire
like a
game.
jacking a friggin' long dick. That's all that was.
that's pretty
so.
much what that mini game is, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just kind of boring.
how fast can you jack? I mean, that's what it should be called.
I didn't mind the motion
that game
controls
was
in Mario
depressing.
Party 8 because it was mini games. I mean, at least they were trying to do something interesting with the motion controls. But I mean, after that, I've pretty much been done with Mario Party.
So you summed up my entire thoughts about the Wii in one sentence. At least they were trying to do something interesting with the motion controls. That's exactly how I
Yeah.
feel about the entire console.
Let's see. I'm seeing if there's any more questions.
I don't know why I thought that laugh was, or that sigh was so funny.
I have a really good, the top question we have here on the Ask.fm is actually a really good one to go out on, I think. But I'll let anyone else get whatever other questions we have in.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at the same question, Scott.
Yes, sir.
You got any, Nathaniel?
No, go ahead.
Should I ask it? I didn't
Yes.
know. Oh, okay. So the
I'll
question
cut
is,
all that out in post, by the way.
yeah. The question is, what is your game of the year, and what do you think is the game of the year? I would say an easier way to answer this is just, what's your game of the year? What do you think deserves game of the year right now for 2016?
I got to think about this. Anyone else want to go?
I actually
I
don't have. Yeah, I don't have one myself.
I don't know. I can't think
I
of
don't
any
think I
either.
could pick one.
No Man's Sky.
No.
It could have been.
No,
It could have been game of the
don't like
year,
just-
but
if they actually did what they said.
yeah, exactly. If they did more of what they actually talked about, then could have been awesome. I don't
Jacob
know.
thinks
I had not.
Star Fox Zero is the game of the year.
Yeah, totally.
I haven't played. I can't think of a single 2016 game I've played.
No, it's like a ton of indie stuff, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's all that's come out. Nothing. I don't play Sony or Microsoft titles.
I think 2016 was really weak overall, to be honest. I think that because that just happened where you're like, we ought to be able to like throw out like 3 or 4, right? But like that just proves this is kind of a bad year for gaming. Is that like we're thinking about it, and we're like, yeah, no, nothing really comes to mind. Like nothing really stands out in that really fantastic way.
Yep.
And we didn't even get Breath of the Wild this year. That didn't even happen. So
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I actually have to go look at my games. That's how sad this is.
But yeah, I mean, it proves that like there's no original concepts that are really like pushing their way forward. I think that developers need to stop sticking to formulas everywhere, which is all I feel like happened this year overall.
I think we're going to start seeing some like really good VR games.
That could happen.
Yeah,
because there has all the VR games that have come out so far have just kind of been like tech demos, like, hey, look, we made a zombie game in the VR world, but nobody has really said, okay, we're going to make an epic video game of the year quality, just through the VR headset. No one's done it yet.
I don't think they're going to do it yet, just because the headset's too expensive and no one really owns it or owns a headset right now.
Sure, but if you make it and every single person who has a VR headset buys it because it's the game to have, I think it could make a profit.
That's true. I mean, I guess it's just waiting for someone to take that risk and, really invest a lot of money into a title to do that.
It could be an indie game. It just has to be something that is an experience you need to really have VR to appreciate.
You know who used to do groundbreaking stuff in on different platforms was Nintendo. They used to really do groundbreaking stuff. Yeah.
When was the last time Nintendo really did something that was groundbreaking, though?
You guys remember when like the Super
Mario
Nintendo
64.
happened? Yeah, and then Super Mario 64. Those were the good old days. Where did those days go?
Mario 64 was probably one of the last ones, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing on the GameCube. Maybe Wii Sports, you could argue.
Interesting that when they stopped
I'd say Wii
innovating,
Sports
that's
is
when their
groundbreaking,
sales went
but-
down too.
But the Wii Remote is innovation.
They innovated with the Virtual Boy.
But the Wii U gamepad is innovation.
I don't think the Virtual Boy was an innovation. I don't
First
think even
VR
they
game
believe
system.
that. Yeah, maybe.
First VR game system.
I think
of
the
its time.
CDI was the last time they truly showed innovation and care for their products.
Actually, the Wii was innovative, and that is probably why it sold a lot. But it was not. It didn't have holding power, so.
Yeah,
It wasn't
actually-
able to compete with the PS4 and Xbox One power-wise.
Yeah.
If they were able to make it so all the companies and EA and stuff could port over all their games very easily from the PS4 over to the Wii U, I think it would have done just as good as the
would've done
Xbox
better.
One, if not better than the PlayStation 4, if they did it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that freaking gamepad, it killed them, because I think the system might have been powerful enough for at least some games to be ported over, but the thing is they needed to reprogram. Like, all third-party games had to be kind of reprogrammed if they're going to be ported over from PC to Wii U because of that gamepad. So
They could have just
I'm
made
looking at
a
a
really
list.
powerful Wii with different peripheral options. Oh well.
yeah,
Could have just made the gamepad with a map on it for any of those games, though. That's what most
Yeah.
people did. Smash Brothers didn't do anything with the gamepad.
nope.
I like how this question that I want to answer, it just turned into a huge bitch fest about Nintendo.
like I'm
Well,
looking at
because there's really
the
no
game-
games that came out
Honestly,
this year.
it's for me, it's a bitch fest about all of 2016 because like we have been slammed with like one unoriginal, boring AAA title after another. And for the few things that tried to be innovative, some of those things were rushed. We had crap like
Hyped
No
up
Man's
Kickstarter
Sky.
projects.
We had failed
Mighty Number
Kickstarters,
Nine.
Mighty Number 9. That's right. And so like all we want, if I had to choose between no games released for 2016 and then just waiting for all good games to be released next year, just give me the games next year. Stop throwing this garbage at me.
I think you guys are forgetting about one little title that I like to call Doom. I played the absolute freaking shit out of that game.
Okay,
I am such a
yeah.
huge fan of the original Doom.
Can I just say it's going to be Pokemon Sun and Moon?
No, get out of here. It's Doom.
Sun and Moon will probably be my game of the year, now that I think
Yeah.
about it. Because like, there's nothing else that I really care about. I'm not interested in Overwatch. Not interested in. Well, I'm kind of interested in playing Doom. I just don't own any consoles to.
It is
Play
Doom,
that.
fantastic.
Doom is basically like just a really, really well done shooter, though. Like, like the thing that really draws it. I mean, if it's great and it's well done, that's awesome. But for me, I'm part of that segment that like I really do want something kind of unique and different, and I want my brain to be challenged by the concept of the game. Probably not, not in the ways they tried. Like Star Fox Zero tried to challenge me, but it challenges everyone in the wrong
way
ways.
with Doom, like the way with Doom is it harkens back to an age where shooters were actually good.
That's right.
And that's so nice to see that again, see something that's heavy on action, doesn't try to be some pretentious bullshit and have this huge in-depth story that you just don't care about.
Yeah.
Doom is all
it's
about,
really
hey,
like-
I'm a Martian, I'm shooting demons, and that's fine. There you go. That's
It's
Doom.
funny how they're all in-depth, like very like cinematic first-person shooters, and then you have the other ones that just don't care about the story and the single player, and it's all about the multiplayer. There's really no in between.
Yeah, that's it. Like I just got done. I just got done visiting some friends over the weekend and family, and I played Battlefield 1, the beta for that. And honestly, it's fantastic. Like I'm happy to see them return to form with shooters again. It seems like they're finally starting to get that. We don't want anything to happen in the 7th generation in regards to shooters. I'm sick of Call of Duty. I'm sick of, again, like pretentious bullshit shooters. I just want something that's just fun and simplistic and just action heavy and actually relies on good coordination and things like that.
Yeah, the thing is, if they're gonna stick to a formula, just please do it well. But the problem is we had a lot of games that stuck to formulas and they were just done bad. Like the multiplayer on Street Fighter V, like what happened? And we just had stuff like that. It was like,
Yeah, that was rushed.
why? Like,
Yeah, I haven't even honestly played Street Fighter 5.
like either stick to the formula and then execute it really, really well, or give me something new. And it didn't happen in 2016, that much anyway. I mean, yeah, I'll grant you Doom, but
Okay, well, real quick, I'll mention this before we wrap up. My other one was Hyrule Warriors Legends. Fantastic. And I'm not going to go in depth to that because I'm sure Nathaniel's going to just gouge his ears and eyes out if I start talking about it again.
I might.
But other than that, if we're good, I think that's all the questions we got.
All right.
for now.
Okay.
All right. Arthur, thank you very much for joining us, man. We really appreciate having you on the show.
No problem.
Yeah, if you guys liked him, want him to come back on, shoot down there in the comments, and just let us know. We'll see. Other than that, though, Scott Lee, where can the people find you on the internet, bro?
You can find me on Twitter at Scott Lee. That's difficult, right? Or if you would like to follow the updates on the game I'm working on later on down the road, you can go to scottfreecapital.com. However, it's currently on hold. You won't see anything just yet, but it is coming later.
And Nathaniel, YouTuber Luscious Boy, where can they find you at, my friend?
Twitter, NathanielBandy1. YouTube, just look up my name. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's very famous, so just type in his name and you'll get all that stuff. Don't worry.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Yep. Arthur, the Gamer from Mars, where can they find you?
I am at Gamer from Mars on Twitter and the Gamer from Mars on YouTube. I'm sorry, you broke up for a second, so I wasn't sure if you were finished with the thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry.
Again, you can always find me right here on the Digicast channel and Indie Jacob on Twitter. Yeah, follow me if you don't already. I'm sure you do, though.
Don't forget that you should visit Digicades daily, on the daily.
Yeah, where we host the Digicast, if you're not aware that it's that podcast that we do. All right. We're good. We'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye-bye.